Khan with some clutch healing through that window there, keeping Dan up. Vinci realizes it's not going to work. He tries to contest Khan. Oh, Onigod saves Khan. Just barely. Hello guys, my name is Coach Hayes and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to be looking through the experimental changes, and after that we're also going to have a look through the EU experimental card finals. Let's get right into this and have a look at the experimental changes. Here we see this was on the 22nd. It's now the 1st of April. So the first changes we have, Anna. And before I get into this, go ahead, I'm going to put timestamps in the video, so if you're not interested in looking through this, if you already know all of this information, you can just skip straight through to the review and watch that. We are reviewing Paris Eternal versus I believe it was like one of the contenders teams, or like a contenders mix kind of thing. Anyway, right into the changes. The first change we have here is Anna. So the biotic rifle Anna ammo has been increased from 12 to 14. So pretty significant, somewhat of a significant buff here. You know, if you compare Anna to Baptiste right now, like Anna, you know, she can't heal and DPS simultaneously, similar to what Baptiste can do. She can only heal one target. She can't AoE heal like Baptiste can. So in my opinion, if you compare Baptiste with Anna, you know, Baptiste is just stronger in every way. So it's like, why would you want to play Anna right now? Aside from if you have like some special combo you want to go with, just Baptiste is just in general better. So I like that Anna's being buffed. My initial thoughts: Nano Boost can now be self-casted on Anna by using. She can nano herself. That's going to be so ridiculous, but that's actually kind of an interesting buff because it just makes her even harder to kill. Like, imagine playing Tracer, you're playing with Tracer versus like Anna Brig, and you know, you're trying to kill the Anna and she just nanos herself. Like, you're not killing her. It's not going to happen. It's pretty interesting. I think this could go through to live. I don't know if this will, because it's kind of like a meme change. I'm really not sure if that will go through. Moving on to Ash, this is a fairly simple change. Dynamite has been nerfed again from 100 to 90. I think this is a fine change just because of how much damage Dynamite can do with AoE. So I like this change quite a bit. Baptiste, regenerative burst has been reduced from 75 to 65. I think this is a good change. Baptiste in general has so much burst healing when he's got the burst down and he's right clicking a target. So I think this in general is a good change. Immortality field, this is a big one. Now protects teammates to a minimum health threshold of 1 health, down from 20% maximum. That is a nice change because, you know, immortality needs some sort of nerf in any way possible. And so, yeah, I think this is a good change. It's a good nerf. Maybe even, I'd have to try it myself, but maybe even it still needs nerfing a little bit. This is maybe, in my opinion, not even enough, but it's a good step in the right direction. So for Bastion, Bastion's self-repair now increases his movement speed by 20% while repairing. So this is interesting. He can actually use his self-repair for mobility now. Like, let's say in a situation where he's full health and he needs to get away quicker, he's going to use his self-repair and he's going to run away quicker. He's going to sprint away quicker. So kind of interesting there. I like this change to Bastion. I think Bastion overall is a very kind of like niche hero. Not something you can play everywhere. He's very strat specific. But I think in general this change is, I'm fine with this change. I'm happy with this change. I'm assuming. Okay, never mind. You cannot. Yeah, can you use it full health? I actually don't know. I think you can. Can you? I feel like you can. I could be wrong about that though. I'm not entirely sure, but someone maybe. I feel like you can. I remember being able to do it before. That's why I said it. But now you said it, Lino, I'm not entirely sure. You're making me second guess myself. Yeah, what's up, Zero? So Bastion change, I quite like this change. I think this is fine. Brigitte, Inspire healing has now been removed from teammates when Brig is eliminated. I think this is fine. Like this is how it should be, right? If Brig is dead, she shouldn't still be healing people with Inspire. Boosters in duration increased from 2 to 3 seconds. I think this is maybe this change is actually stronger than it looks at first. It's probably a lot stronger than it looks initially as a change because Diva's boosters are already on a very low cooldown, like 4 second cooldown. So I think this is probably, I mean, I'd have to try this, but I think it's probably a good change. Diva in general right now, I think is in a good place, and this just makes her even like a little bit stronger. So I'm happy with Diva buffs. I'm a Diva player, so throw Diva buffs my way, and I'll take them any day. Echo. So duplicate. When duplicate ends, Echo will return to the health value she had prior to activating the ability, or to 100 health, whichever is higher. Okay, so this is a pretty big nerf actually because this changes a lot of the way you play Echo. Right? So a lot of the things I teach to my students is when you're playing Echo, when you have clone, I consider it like a get out of jail free card because you can go in, you can engage aggressively, you can use clone, you can go for your full combo, and then you can just use combo to get full health if they start turning and pressuring you, and you can get away pretty easily after the clone or kill more with the clone. So you have like a free combo potential on a target, and then when the target turns and aggresses you, you just simply clone and you're fine. So this is a nerf that will actually affect that, and it will mean that that's no longer as viable. It's still possible to do that, but you have to be a bit more disciplined with like when you're going to clone. If you take a whole lot of damage, then you clone. Trying to get out of that clone when you then come out of the clone afterwards, you're going to be in a dangerous position. You're going to be low health as well. So, Genji buffs. So Genji's secondary fire, so his right click has been reduced from 9 to 8 meters, and his Dragon Blade has been increased. Duration has been increased by 1 second for each kill while active. Okay, so the Dragon Blade is pretty cool. This is quite a big buff actually. So this is going to snowball Genji blades like super hard. When he's blading, he gets one kill. He gets one kill. He gets another kill, and he's just going to keep snowballing that time duration. The right click, I think this is a good change. Genji in general is quite a weak hero in my opinion right now, just because of the way the meta plays out. So I like this change. Hanzo, we got so many changes in here. Holy moly! So Hanzo, Dragon Strike. The travel speed has been increased by 20%, and the damage has been increased by 20%. Damage increased by 20% is pretty huge, actually. I wonder how that affects. Trance will still heal that, but I wonder how that affects like other interactions. That's a big buff, actually. That's a huge buff. Travel speed increased by 20% and damage increased by 20%. Distance before the dragon forms the arrow shot reduced from 10 to 5 meters. Okay, so that's a huge buff to Dragon Strike, actually. That's a big buff. Hanzo Dragon's going to be like no joke anymore. I mean, it wasn't a joke before because it was so nice to combo, but now it's going to be like literally a terrifying ult because you're not going to be able to escape it. Usually you could actually escape Dragon Strike, but you're not going to be able to escape it now. 20% speed increase and damage increase. That is huge. Concussion Mine. So the minimum damage increased from 30 to 35. Pretty small buff to Junkrat. Lucio. The sound wave cooldown increased from 4 to 6 seconds. So he's been nerfed slightly there. Like his boop is on a longer cooldown. Crossfade radius increased by 50% and his effectiveness increased by 20% at close range, falling off to -50 at max range. Okay, so I think this is an interesting change because it enables Lucio to be a lot more aggressive, I think, because he's still going to provide that aura. So I think overall this is an interesting change. It might actually make like brawly competitions a bit better because they can kind of play a lot closer together. And well, sorry, they can play a lot more split and they can still find value with the Lucio. May endothermic blaster. The ammo has been increased from 120 to 140. I think this is a decent change. I'm not sure if May was really in need of a buff, but interesting change nonetheless. Mercy. Getting a killing blow will reset the cooldown. Okay, so Neptuno is going to love this change. He's going to absolutely love this change, isn't he? Because he's just going to be going in. I mean, he goes in anyway, so it's going to help him. But I don't know if this will actually change that much, to be honest, because I really don't know if this will change that much. It's on such a low cooldown anyway. But it's interesting, definitely interesting. You could see some like outplay potential, not outplay potential, but some like we could see some mercy plays happening. Not forced mercy plays, but more so like clutch escapes with the Guardian Angel. Orisa, so protective barrier health increased from 600 to 700, and the cooldown increased from 10 to 11 seconds. Seems okay. I always felt like Orisa barrier was like quite low health, like at 600. It's like paper; it gets melted so easily. But like the health being increased, but the cooldown being increased as well, kind of evens this out. I don't know what their intentions are with that one. Farah, new passive. Damage taken while airborne decreased by 5%, and damage taken while grounded increased by 10%. Okay, that's a super interesting change actually. So this makes Farah very slightly harder to kill when she's flying. And incentivizes you to literally just be in the air all of the time. Because if you're on the ground, you're taking 10% more damage. That's a really, really interesting change, actually. Shadow Step. Remove the voice line triggered upon arrival. Slight buff. Sometimes you could literally hear Reaper teleporting, so I like this change. Reinhardt. His Earth Shatter stuns closer targets for up to 3 seconds. Targets at maximum range are stunned for the standard 2.5 seconds. This is a, I mean, this is a very small. Was it originally 3 seconds on the shatter? What was it before? Have a look. What was it before? Okay, so it was originally 2.5 seconds for everybody, and it's now 3 seconds for closer targets, 2.5 for people at the maximum range. It's a nice little buff, but it's nothing significant, I don't think. Nothing too significant. But it's a nice buff, nonetheless, to Reinhardt. Soldier 76. Helix rockets now have 2 charges. Damage reduced from 40 impact and 80 explosive to 30 impact and 50 explosive. Okay, so... And self-damage scalar reduced from 50 to 40%. Okay, so Soldier now has 2 helixes. Definitely, this is a change that is incentivizing more skill because you want to hit those 2 helixes. It did kind of feel like Soldier, like he didn't have a whole lot to his kit. You're simply just running around. You're running kind of like a running hit scan with one ability, which is your helix, and then you're just shooting. So I like this change. I think this is decent. I need to try this for myself and see what it feels like, but could be good. Definitely could be interesting. Sombra, I've heard these are some big changes here. So Sombra, hack activation time is increased from 0.65 seconds to 1.15 seconds. So actually a pretty big nerf here to Sombra, which I think is warranted, but this much of a nerf feels Feels a bit extreme to me. Like this feels really, really extreme. Duration increased from 5 to 6 seconds. This is super extreme in my opinion. Like this is too much. Like 0.85, 0.9 seconds could have been good. You need to have like this is just too much in my opinion. This is way too much. I agree that the hack time 0.65 is too low, but I think that 1.15 is way too big of a nerf. And like people are going to be able to react quite easily to that. Translocator cooldown is now triggered when the translocator is used or destroyed instead of immediately after placement. Cooldown reduced from 6 to 5 seconds. Okay, so okay. So does this slows down her rotations a little bit, I think. Yeah, this slows down her rotations slightly. And cooldown is reduced from 6 to 5 seconds. Symmetra. So the sentry turret, the placement travel speed increased from 15 to 20 seconds, 20 meters per second. Okay. Yeah, seems like a good change to me. I mean, I don't think this was ever really a problem, but you know, this is an experimental card. This is supposed to be a bit of a spicy one, you know? This is supposed to be a spicy change. Torbjorn. Torbjorn deploy turret now has 2 charges, damage reduced by 40% and the health reduced by 40%. So now we're going to see some funky Torbjorn strats if this goes through. I don't know if this will go through this because this is a big change. Yo, Snappy, thank you for the raid, dude. Hope you had a good stream. So pretty interesting. Torbjorn now has 2 turrets. I don't know what to say about this, to be honest. This is I need to see this for myself. I need to see how this plays out. Hopefully we get to see some Torbjorn in the experimental card. Tracer buff. Base health increased from 150 to 175, and recall cooldown has been increased from 12 to 14 seconds. I don't know if this buff is like really necessary, to be honest with you. Mostly because yeah, I just don't see Tracer needing to have why does she need 175 health? It's not necessary. Like her blinks, you know, her blinks are what makes Tracer skilled. I guess you're gonna give some survivability to her. You know, because sometimes you just get one shot by when you're playing, which sucks. It literally sucks when you're playing Tracer, you get one shot. I feel that. But I'm not sure this buff was really necessary. It's gonna make her a little bit slower when you're coming from like basically Tracer has a rotation. When you're going and you're pressuring a Tracer, you use recall, you have to play defensively during your recall. So you're gonna have a little bit longer to wait. A little bit longer of a cooldown to wait before you can go more aggressive again with that recall. Use the Tracer main, I don't care, just give her the buff. Maybe this is like you know, maybe this Tracer change is like to help her against Torbjorn. I don't know. But I do know for a fact that if I'm playing Tracer and I'm playing against Torbjorn and I got 2 turrets to destroy, this is so horrible. Yo, what's good, Dana? How's it going, mate? Welcome to the stream, dude. Widowmaker, Venom Mine, damage increased from 75 to 120. Damage over time duration increased from 5 to 6 seconds, and the trigger radius increased from 3 to 4 meters. Does 175 HP make her survive flashbang headshot from Kree? I don't think so. Could be wrong about that though, I'm not sure. I'd have to test that out. But I feel like that would be an absolutely broken change if it did, because that would literally just make McCree not even a counter, because you're just going to survive. You don't... Wait, you're telling me you can survive versus flashbang headshot? That's actually ridiculous if that's true. Have you tried it? So, Widowmaker, Venomine has increased from 75 to 120. Uh, Interesting change. I think Venomine only really has one purpose, which is like control flanks. This is going to be really annoying for like if Genji or Tracer getting hit by this. This might mean that Widowmaker, if you get hit by it means that the Venomine is more impactful. Because before it did kind of feel like a good way of scouting. Now it's legitimately a good way of denying the enemies because it's like that's a huge buff to the damage. That's a huge buff to the damage. Damage over time duration increased from 5 to 6 seconds. Okay, so more damage, but it triggers over a longer period of time. And the trigger radius increased from 3 to 4 meters. Okay. These changes, yeah, I mean, this is a decent buff to the mine. I think the mine was kind of like a little bit irrelevant before, so I like these changes. Winston, his health and armor has been redistributed from 350, 150 to 335, 165. So another armor buff to Winston. All the Winston mains out there, I'm sure, are going to be happy with this one. Nice Winston buff there. Wrecking Ball's size reduced by 15%. I need to see this. This is going to look so ridiculous. Quad cannons. His ammo has been reduced from 80 to 70. His grappling claw cooldown has been reduced from 5 to 7 seconds. And he no longer prevents enemies from generating ultimate charge from his adaptive shield. Okay. So Hammond has been nerfed into the ground with this. Hammond's literally been nerfed into the ground with these changes. I feel bad for Hammond mains. That sucks, dude. Size reduced by 15%. So he's harder to hit. Which is interesting. He's harder to hit. Ammo has been reduced by 10. Don't think this change is too huge. Grappling Claw, his cooldown has been increased from 5 to 7 seconds. That's a pretty big change because it really affects your timing when you're going in as Hammond and like how you're going to get away. An adaptive shield. Also quite a big change. You know, like Hammond could get so much value from pressuring in with shields and not have to worry about feeding ult, but now he does have to worry about feeding ult. So he has to like really be careful with when he's engaging. This one is a big change. These two are the biggest ones. Biggest nerfs to Hammond. Zarya, projected range increase from 30 to 34 meters. I think this is a good change. I like this change. And Transcendence, finally, Zenyatta, the Transcendence movement speed multiplier has been increased from 2 times to 2.3 times. So if you see that target, you know, critical miles away from you and you think you can get there, you know, you can go slightly faster now to get to the target. I think this is a good change. And this is not like a super drastic change, so I think this is good. Okay, that was actually longer than I expected. There's a lot of things to look through here. So let's actually get straight into the video now and let's have a look at some of the finals. So here we see, obviously, Paris Eternal, they're playing, this was the finals of the EU experimental card. Paris Eternal, and I think they're playing against like a contenders mix. Well, I recognize a lot of the names here. Doge, Finzi, Lethal, Cloud, Majed, Gustav, all contenders players. Finzi, ex Overwatch League, and obviously the Overwatch League team, Paris Eternal. Both teams are running a broad composition, it looks like. So we know that Reinhardt's been buffed. He has the Shatter buff. We know that D.Va's also been buffed. We see the 2 Torbjorn turrets down on the map here from Cloud. This is going to be super annoying, like playing against Torbjorn, because you have to get rid of 2 turrets, and that like Torbjorn is a controller, right? So he's going to be controlling so much space here with the turrets. Team 1 running with a Reaper Torbjorn. Reaper Torbjorn defense. Bap and Lucio. Baptiste still being quite strong, I think, in my opinion. Both teams still running Bap Lucio. Okay, let's go back slightly here. I'll do my best not to pause too much today, because I know some people don't like it when I pause all the time. So Cloud has 2 turrets set up, 1 on statue, 1... Okay, he's repositioned now. Team 2 running with Sim. If we look at both these comps, Team 2 want to play a lot more defensively here versus this comp. They want to play a lot slower, right? They have Sim Kree, so they want to charge this Sim beam, and they want to play a lot slower. Team 1, really aggressive play there, and Doge kind of gets rolled over there. Team Paris do have a big advantage now, losing that Rhine. Yeah, they should be able to cap the point. I don't think there's any way they're going to recontest this now. Yeah, they're going to give this up and just hold second. Suna on the Sim. Oni on his signature Kree. Now Doge and Team 1 setting up really nicely around this choke point. Look at that double turret setup. Paris have a tough order here trying to get through this choke. Look at the payload. It's kind of cool. And would you look at that setup around the choke? Nice position there from Lethal, controlling this right side. Basically, he's saying to Dans, or Dan, if you want to push in, you're going to get shot in the back by me. So I like the off angle here from Lethal. Nice position. Now they go with the Sim TP right in. Nice window. Team 1 reacts straight back with a window of their own. Molten Core is out. Beat is out in response from Neptuno. Onigod gets the one with the high noon. Paris looking like they're ahead here. Oni making a flank behind. I want to see how this flank plays out for Onigod. Gets a pick onto Manja. That's about as good as it gets for the McCree there. You're looking to kill the Baptiste most of the time. If you can get the Baptiste down, you're cutting off all of those healings onto the rest of the team. So nice, really nice flank there from Onigod. Onigod gets 2. Paris have Shatter and Diva Bomb. Let's actually go into Dan's perspective here and see if we can get a good Shatter, and we'll see if we can see the impacts of those changes onto the Rhine Shatter. Doge also has a Shatter of his own, so this is actually a pretty big moment for both of these Rhines. Whichever Rhine kind of gets the edge here. Oh, Manja just swapped. So Manja's not going to be here for this fight. They go really aggro with Beat. Doge misses the Shatter. And now it's Dan's turn to make something happen here. Shield's getting very low. Vinci goes with Diva Bomb. Dan's gets absolutely shredded. Elevote goes for Diva Bomb in the back line. Manages to get Cloud. And this is just an absolute mess. Khan staying alive all of this fight here, keeping his team up and getting that DPS down. Managing to keep Elevote up just barely. Loses the mech. Starts to get the DPS down on Finzi. And it looks like Paris are going to get this. Yeah, Paris just barely managed to get this before Doge comes back to reinforce. Paris came out of this really quite ahead. They now have Shatter, Simmel, High Noon, Beat. So they're in a good position to go aggressive here with these ults. Window going to be very good at denying the aggression here from Team 1. Just waiting for Neptuno to come back from spawn. Interested to see how they engage this. Are they going to go forward with a Symbol? Are they going to go with a Speed High Noon? Are they going to go with Shatter initially. I think they might go with a High Noon to try and get some space here. They're going to go for a Sim TP, it looks like. They go for a Sim TP. Onigod gets booped, just barely gets booped off. Sim Wall comes down. Dan's manages to get the Shatter, but he's extremely low here. Somehow managing to survive. Finzi in the backline. This is absolute chaos. People everywhere. Evom gets stuck in the skybox there. And somehow, sooner, one of the squishiest heroes is still just barely alive right there. Funny gets taken down. Clow has made the swap onto a Widowmaker. Widowmaker is actually a nice pick here on the 3rd point. Because, you know, if we look at Team 2, what do they have that can stop this Widowmaker? Okay. He swapped right back onto the Torbjorn. Apparently Torbjorn's just too strong. Where has he put those turrets? Okay, so he's actually waiting for a 2nd turret right now, I think. Oh no, he has both turrets down. But he's got another turret coming up soon. Where is he going to throw this turret? Lethal gets booped off there. He tries to go for the High Noon. Neptuno, a really nice boop there. Denying Lethal that High Noon onto Oni and Neptuno. Divom comes in from Elevote. Beat in response from Gustav. Look at that kill feed. Just turrets on turrets getting killed. Finzi's booped. Onigod's High Nooning. I feel like a caster right now. Clearly, this is very, very chaotic. A lot of the sim teleports coming onto the top here to try and like get this McCree into a good position. But Team 1 are doing a real good job of denying that McCree from being there. Because they know that this spot here on top is a very strong position for the McCree. We got our regroup from Paris, almost. Onigod's coming back from spawn. Suna has the wall up. Khan has the window. Window comes out aggressively. Dan gets caught in the open there. Very, very open there, that position from Dan. Not sure why he's so exposed in the open there. I would love to see him behind the cover there. Or a little bit closer to the cover so that he doesn't get punished as hard. He gets absolutely shredded there. Paris go with their own window. Let's go to Suna's perspective here. And this is the weakness of Sim, guys. Like, has no defensive. She needs her team to create space for it. If she tries going solo or going on a flank, you can quite easily get punished. Khan in a really nice position here on top, actually. Not going to have too much impact, though. Doge gets a huge shatter. I love this position, actually, from Khan. And this is just an example of why Baptiste is so strong. It's because you can DPS and you can heal at the same time. Can Anna do that? No, Anna's a lot slower. Khan in full DPS mode right now. DPSing, healing. DPSing, healing. Goes for the drone. Unfortunately misses Elevote with the drone. D-Rom's in a nice spot though. And the Torbjorn, the Coom, is in a good spot here. And he managed to actually get this, I think. Maja's going to be going down, yeah. And this should be the cap. Look at that ball. He's quite a bit smaller, isn't he? Okay. That was super chaotic. But Torbjorn seems to be an interesting pick for these guys. They seem to like the Torbjorn a lot. Wonder if Paris are going to pull out the Torbjorn on the defense here. Suna's going with the Tracer. Okay. So Suna's on the Tracer. Interesting to pick the Tracer when we're seeing that Cloud is playing a lot of Torbjorn. Not entirely sure about that pick. But, you know, if anyone can make the Tracer work here, it's going to be Suna. Because this guy is cracked on Tracer.
4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Honestly, I have a feeling like both of these teams are just playing what they're comfortable with. We know that Paris love playing these brawl compositions. And And it's probably the same goes for Team 1 here as well. Wonder how Tsuna's going to fare here on the Tracer versus Torbjorn. I imagine this is going to be super annoying. Let's see where Cloud has put his turrets. Oh, he still has his turrets available. Okay. Let's see how he's going to use these turrets. Hasn't put any turrets down yet. Okay, he's put both turrets down in the same position. Okay. And that's what happens if you put your both turrets in the same position. They're going to get taken out. They have 40% less health. So these turrets are going to get absolutely melted if you're not careful with where you're placing them. One fire strike, and that's pretty much both turrets gone. So not a huge fan of that turret placement. Where's Onigod got his turrets? Onigod has one turret above the window here. And I think that's the only turret he has down right now. Yep, just that one down. How's Sunny getting on here on the Tracer? Yeah, that Torbjorn turret really dealing a lot less damage now. You can see that damage. Really no way near as oppressive as it was before. Okay, Suna switches onto the Torbjorn. Sorry, onto the Junkrat. Interesting considering Junkrat hasn't really had too much of a change or too much of a nerf. Or a buff. You know, he only had his concussive mine buffed slightly. Damage increased from 30 to 35 minimum damage dealt from that concussive. Team 1 with the auto advantage, they go with the window first. Paris, nice disengage. They managed to get out unscathed. Oof. Neptuno gets absolutely sniped there. What happened there, Neptuno? Oof, he just gets absolutely one shot. What else hit him? Just the fire strike? Oh, it was just the window just faded. The window just faded. I didn't see the window, but then yeah, I just realized it just faded. So Neptuno does actually get taken out there. Nice fire strike from Doge. Predicts him coming off the wall there, and manages to get that. Team 1 going real aggressive here with a speed High Noon. Lethal decides to back off slightly. Just as owning High Noon. Gustav, real nice peel there. Stops Elivote from taking out Lethal. And here comes the Coom. Coom and Beat. This is going to be a tough ask for Paris. And they get overwhelmed here. High Noon to zone off the enemies and create space. Nice peel from Gustav. And they go with the Torbjorn ult to close out the fight. And then the Beat as a follow-up. So a lot of ults invested there from Team 1. Paris now gonna have a bit of an advantage here. They're gonna have the upper edge with the ults. Turret's really not having a whole lot of impact there from Cloud. Onigod goes with the aggressive High Noon. They're coming around the corner trying to clear space. We commonly see High Noon used like this in pro matches. High Noon is a really good zoning ult. Why pick up the Torb instead of something like Mei? Very good question, JCap. I don't know. In my opinion, I feel like the Mei is stronger. But, you know, this is an experimental card, so these teams might not be taking it super seriously. That being said, they're still trying to win. Really funky D.Va on there from Pinsy. Doesn't manage to get too much done with it. Oof, Cloud takes out Suna during the tire and gets the pick on Suna as well. Gets the tire and Suna. Dan's eventually falls. It's going to be a reset. Okay, so what did Paris invest? They invested Shatter, they invested Tire. They also invested Diva Bomb. What did Team 1 invest? They invested just Diva Bomb. So if we look at the ult trade there, Team 1 came out way ahead, and we still have 4 minutes left on the side of Team 1. Onigod picks up the Widow. This is the Fletter Widow comeback. You know, he's trying to get some Fletter picks here. But this is good, because if we look at this from the side of the Team 1, who can contest him here? Only Lethal, and then maybe the Torbjorn spamming some shots over here. Beat comes out from Gustav. This is going to be tough. Very tough for Paris. Khan goes with a window. Onigod gets taken out here. Khan with some clutch healing through that window there, mate. Keeping Dan up. Vinci realizes it's not going to work. He tries to contest Khan. Ooh, Onigod saves Khan. Just barely. Khan was the clutch factor this fight. He was a massive clutch this fight. Onigod gets a big pick on the Torbjorn turret. Absolutely huge pick there from Onigod. Yeah, Khan was the difference maker this fight. That window was absolutely clutch. Keeping Dan up, keeping Elivo up, and stalling out this payload for the rest of his team to come back with a window. I like the TP plays here from Paris. I think the problem here is Oni showing himself too early. If Oni waits here until Team 1 pushes into this, you know, he has a nice flank route. But this is a little bit too early now, because they know he's there. And look at that. Oni's dead. So just a timing issue there from Onigod. Dans goes for the Shatter, doesn't quite get it down. Doge also goes for the Shatter and misses completely. Oof, nice fire strike from Dan. Almost barely kills Lethal. Big Diva Bomb. Can Alivo get on point? I think he can. Huge Diva Bomb. Manages to get 2. Is Neptuno going to survive? Neptuno is barely alive here. Absolutely. Oh, that's tragic, actually. Team 1 really struggling here to get this final point capped. Suna sticking with the sim. Let's have a look at some Suna cam. So we got window. He has all of his turrets down. Onigod gets a nice pick there onto Gustav from the high ground position. There's the TP. Fortunately, it gets taken out right away. I would have liked to have seen Suna TP the McCree on top, because you see from here, McCree can get a nice flashbang. He can get some pressure onto Majed, and that's exactly his goal. And the other thing about this turret spot is this TP spot. You could TP from here, and this is a lot harder for them to break. So Team 1 have rotated the map, and they've taken this side of the map now. Suna goes down with the symbol. Suna's in a pretty dangerous position there, though. It looks like Suna's going to get taken out. Nice. Huge immortality field from Khan. And this rotation is paying dividends towards Team 1. Simultaneous high noon. Both McCrees get the Lucio. Suna's on high ground. Oh, Onigod gets him. Both teams trading blows for blow. And it seems like Paris are on top here with the blows. Paris do end up coming out on top. Paris have the spawn advantage, so you know they're not worried about trading here. They're happy to trade. Providing they can get back and trade evenly, they are happy with the situation. Very aggressive play from Paris. Dan literally pins in. Managed to get the drone and Cloud with the Diva Bomb.
10 seconds remaining.
Cloud's saying, you know, I've had enough of Torbjorn. I've had enough of Torbjorn. I'm going Ashe. Suna in a pretty aggressive spot on top here, pressuring. Look at that, no one's pressuring him. He's just full beam. He's still full beam here. He's gonna have window soon. Sorry, he's gonna have wall soon. Look at that, he's just absolutely beaming kids. Okay, well, Suna making the sim work. I'm not sure about the Torbjorn pick from Cloud. You know, this is an experimental, so they're definitely trying stuff. Pretty interesting. Let's take a look at another map. Let's take a look at the Nepal.
Traveling to Nepal. Ready for battle.
So you rage quit a game when you match with KSA and Kevstar. Yeah, I was honestly, man, I just wanted to play a chill game of Overwatch. I didn't want to have to like full on try hard, so I was like, I'm not about this noise. I'm just gonna get out. And I also don't want to be responsible for losing him rank 1, so I just wanted the chill game. I just dodged. Wasn't a rage quit. Okay, so Nepal here we have Junkrat and Ashe. Both teams still playing the brawl composition. Junkrat Ashe. Team 2 Cloud still on the Torbjorn. Still running the Torbjorn there. Lethal is playing the Reaper this time. Similar to what we saw on King's Row. Still going with the Reaper. Does manage to get a pick onto Oni. So far we're kind of in Team 2 looking like they have the edge right now. 2 people capping the point. Elivote's doing his best to try and stop this. If we look at which team's going to win this in a long fight, I would say that Paris are going to win this in a long fight, because this Junkrat is just constantly putting pressure here with the spam. Junkrat is really, really good at controlling lanes, so Junkrat is going to be controlling this lane really, really nicely. Especially if that D.Va is having to tag point and touch point. It's stopping sooner. It's stopping the team of Team 1 from pushing forward. And look at that. Doge is out of shields. Team 1 go with window. Gonna see a fire strike through. Just barely misses there. Paris having to disengage. Suna coming with a tire. Is he gonna go behind with the tire? But Doge gets the tire with fire strike. Lethal gets absolutely melted on the flank. Let's see this again. Oof. Okay, so someone else shot him and Suna's got the final blow there. Team 1 going, like, Paris really going with like a anti-brawl composition here. This is like a spam brawl composition. Team 1 just playing to disengage this. They don't want to be engaging this. They just want to play to spam here. Beat comes out from Neptuno. Khan just gets taken out just before he can drone. And this is actually a really nice fight for Team 2. They don't have to invest too much. Paris used the beat, but they don't manage to survive there. The Molten Core is too strong, especially in these small areas. Both teams running a lot of these controller heroes. Torbjorn, Sim, Junkrat. All of these being controlling heroes. Well, I call them controllers. Okay, Team 2 going super aggressive there with the beat. Totally ignoring the choke point, and they're going in. Can Paris disengage this? They disengage really nicely, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is why you don't just randomly beat engage. I mean, this is not a random beat engage, it's obviously an aggressive play, but this is why I don't like beat engaging versus Lucio comps, is because you can just disengage, and Dan manages to get out there. And Paris realize they now have the advantage, and look at the flip of that switch. They go from defensive mode to aggressive mode, 0 to 100 real quick. They go with Taya, Diva Bomb. Dan's pinning in. That is a big, big Reaper ult. Lethal, absolutely clutch blade there from Lethal. All created by that pin from Doge. That was a really nice blade from Lethal. Gets so much value there with that Reaper ult. Elivote unfortunately not in position to stop that. Window comes. Window position here is really, really nice from Khan. This window is creating so much space here on this point. Especially when you combo that with a McCree sat shooting through the window. It's just huge value. Elivo just yoinks the pack there from him. Very unfortunate. Molten Core comes out from Cloud. That double Torbjorn setup. Shooting away. That's so funny to see. Wow. The Junkrat passive gets 2 picks. You don't see that very often. Let's have a look. How did this happen? Absolutely huge play there from Suna. Gets 2 with the Junkrat passive. Those 2 turrets absolutely going to town on Elivote's mech. And meanwhile, all of this time, Team 2 have had control of this point. Only now are Paris trying to make a resurgence here. Diva comes out from Finzi, doesn't get anything done though. High Noon manages to get the Diva. And Paris doing actually a really good job controlling this area here. This area is key, right? Because this area has complete control and overlook over onto the point. Rotation coming around from Team 2. Trying to flip the map. Not sure what impact this is going to have because Team 1 just... all they're going to do is flip the map. They're trying to catch him off guard, but what are they really going to catch off guard? Team Paris is going to make the same rotation. Dan somehow gets caught here. I'm not entirely sure how. Lethal teleports in. Lethal gets booped off the map there. We saw that in the corner of our screen. And it's a C9. Oh, he body blocks him. Elivote with a giga brain plays. Look at this from Elivote. Goes for the boop. And he just barely manages to body block there. Cloud's going to be absolutely mortified. He manages to get the C9 there. Okay, we got Village. We're now seeing some Mei out of Cloud. Mei, obviously known to be very, very strong on this point. Mei being incredibly good for walling off both of these chokes on point and isolating the targets off. Mei is known to be strong on this point. Paris are here quicker. Suna's on the Tracer. Dan's does get walled off. Drone comes out. Is Dan going to survive? Oh, I don't like that fire strike. That was a really aggressive fire strike there from Dan, especially considering how low he was. Paris doing a decent job trying to disengage this, but, you know, the Mei comp is just relentless. They're looking for these walls. They're looking for that push. Team 2 have no other option other than be aggressive here. They're not playing slow into this comp. They have a Mei. They want to be looking for these walls. They want to be pressuring and looking for that Mei wall. And there, Dan is frozen. and eventually Dan goes down. Elevote manages to take out Samajid though. Pretty big trade here. It's just actually pretty even. No healing from the side of Team 2, and no shield from the side of Paris. If Paris can survive this, stall this out, they have a good chance of winning this. Drone comes out from Khan. High Noon comes out from Onigod. Manages to get Gustav. Looking pretty even. Doge is down. I think Paris might just win that. That Baptiste pick was so crucial. And one other big thing to notice there is Team 2 invested a beat as well. So coming off the back of that fight, Team 2 did get some capture on the point. But, you know, a lot more invested there in terms of ultimates from Team 2. I do feel like Team 2's composition is favored on this map. I don't really like Tracer in Brawl, but I know Suna's just, you know, his Tracer's cracked, so I understand why he's playing it. Suna in the back there, putting a lot of pressure on Majid. Just constantly putting pressure on this Baptiste. But meanwhile, he's pressuring the Baptiste. Look at what's happening to his team. The win condition from Team 2 being they're trying to wall off this Rhine and just absolutely obliterate Dan here with the Reaper and with the Mei. And Dan eventually gets taken down before Suna can do his job, which is taking out that Bap. Speak of the devil, he does manage to get a stick. Goes in, gets a sticky. Wow, okay, they managed to win that. I did not expect that to happen. Suna proved me wrong on the Tracer. He managed to get a good pick on the Bap. It took him a while, and Dan actually ended up dying in the process, but he does get the pick. He does deliver the goods. Team 2 rotating here through the kitchen area, trying to take top. They want to take top here because they need to force Paris down onto point, because that's where they can get those good walls. When Paris are playing on top here, it's hard for them to get the value from the walls. Lethal, nice TP there, putting a lot of pressure on the support. Supports are forced to drop. Where is Onigod? Onigod's on a flank. And so they get baited into the trap there. Finzi doesn't realize the Hainu's coming through. He doesn't quite realize that's coming through. And again, Paris managed to take down the healers of Team 2. Paris know that if they take a head-on fight, they're not winning that. So they're sending their DPS. Both DPS are trying to put pressure on Sir Majid and Gustav. And it's paying off so far. Interesting to see how the two different win conditions of these comps. Team 2's win condition is just go aggressive. Look for those picks on the Rhine. And Paris are looking for these high ground positions and strong off-angle positions where they can put pressure on the Baptiste. Onigod does get caught out there by Finzi. Nice pressure from Finzi. Ends up getting a little bit close here. But still, he's putting so much pressure there. You see that pressure he's putting on the Baptiste? Onigod gets taken down. Beat invested from Team 2. Just beat, it looks like. Honestly, Team Paris didn't invest too much either. They used Window and they used Shatter, but really, these two are going to farm relatively quickly. So, Paris still in a very good position. Team 2 do have Mail and Window. Interested to see how they use Window here, because this comp, in my opinion, doesn't really synergize too well with Window. I mean, Window in general is just a strong ability, but I want to see how they decide to use this. They're holding close so they can look for this Mei wall. Sune gets a pick onto Gustav. Onigod gets taken down, tries to go for the flank. And that's going to be it. Jun is taking a fly across the map there. Up in there. Still have that Mail. This is going to be a really, really clutch fight. This is basically going to be last fight here. The Mail going to be the difference maker here, I think. Unless Finzi, unless Elevote is going to pull out a clutch eat, this is really going to set the tone for the fight. Paris decide to rotate through main. They go with an early wall. Dan's is going to be aggressive now because of that. Wow, Tsuna with a huge bomb. And the beat comes in right at the same... And that's going to be it. Unfortunately, the replay code has ended, but we can see the Tsuna stick. Tsuna, okay. Tsuna is just cracked on this Tracer. He's actually cracked. Goes to the stick onto the Rhine. Magia drops straight into that. Gets the 3k. And the rest is history. We know what happens there. 2 people shattered on the floor and a Diva Bomb about to explode. You're dead, mate. GG. That was pretty chaotic, to be completely honest. We saw a bit of normality there on the village where Team 2, the contenders team, are playing with the Mei. But actually, Paris playing really nicely around that win condition, which is they don't win a fight. They don't win a fight when they take head-on fight. Right? If we look at these comps, like I said before, Team 2's win condition is to just wall someone off, freeze someone, and just isolate that target and take that target out. For Team 1, you know, how are they going to match this? The pressure from the Mei and from the Reaper. They have different win conditions. Paris's win condition here is to look for a flank with the McCree. And Tsuna's constantly, you saw how much he's pressuring Majid. You saw how he's pressuring those supports. He's trying to cut off the healing of Team 2 before Team 2 can manage to kill Dance. So this was actually a really interesting game. We saw 2 different win conditions. The previous Sanctum, you know, this was a bit chaotic. We saw some position control, but yeah, I would say this you know, this was more of an entertaining game, this village point here. Okay, guys, if you did enjoy this video, I'd really appreciate if you could drop a like on the video and also consider subscribing to my channel. If you want to support me additionally, you can also check out my Patreon, which is down in the description. You can get access to my client coaching VODs, patch notes, hero tier lists, get to vote on content that I'm going to create. Just an additional way to support me. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.